And here we are with goalkeeper Steve Clark. Steve, thanks for taking the time. And on that word time, you've had a little bit of it between games, which has been rare to come about. What's it been like for you to have almost 2 weeks away from matches?
Yeah, you said it. Feeling like a human again. Got to train a little bit, which has been fun to work on some things, and but I think now we're ready to go. So counting down the days to the game, we're pretty excited.
I love what you said to our Jake Zivin a couple of weeks ago about balance, and balance has been difficult to come about this year because of so many games. Have you been able to restore some sort of balance? What does it mean for you to have that balance and find some normality?
Well, I mean, it's not just us as players. I'm sure it's everybody. But I mean, days off. But we have to be quite quarantined with COVID, and so you started getting into the simple things, going for a bike ride, going for a walk. The weather's been bad, so no camping, which is kind of my activity of choice. So just hanging out with my wife at home and my dog, and making the best of it.
I love when we chat to Valeri. I love hearing with players how they keep themselves fit, how they keep themselves healthy, whether it's mental, physical. Diego Valeri talked a lot about him with his nutrition. Jeremy Bobasi talks about yoga and being able to physically be strong mentally as well. What is it for you? You mentioned going camping, hiking. What is it for you that keeps you fresh? It's been another solid season for you, physically, mentally. It seems as though you've looked after yourself well.
Well, definitely yoga, meditation, and the other thing is just trying to do something fun. Like you said, that balance. It's getting a smaller and smaller circle of what's available. So I try to get out and not think about soccer as much as I can. And luckily, I have a great little partner, my wife, to romp around with. So
outside of your wife, the only other people that you're really allowed to see is your teammates as well. What has that been like, and how is it in an odd season helped in terms of the culture and the team bonding as well, knowing that you're only seeing for you, your immediate family, and then the players on your team? What's that been like?
Well, for us, we have a great group of guys, so it's been great. I assume that there's other teams that are not enjoying that as much. But we as a team are, there's just a lot of good guys here. We're committed. We're working towards a common goal. There's a lot of fun conversations about tactics in soccer and how to play and what we're doing, what other teams are doing, and so we're having a good time. It's a blended group. We got a lot of different cultures in here, but we're all a bunch of good guys, and it's refreshing. It's nice to be here.
It's interesting you say that. For all the years that I've covered the Timbers, I would say that this is the most experienced, mature group of players that I've covered. And I wonder if you can take me on the inside, and when you say like conversations with guys, what is it like for you with the culture? How does it compare to other years? Because it does feel like that from the outside, that this team really do enjoy being around one another.
Yeah, you said it. We're very experienced, and there's been a lot of winners on this team. But I think what's the important caveat when you have an experienced team is that you have to match that with youthful hunger, and we have that not only with young guys but also with the veterans like myself. We want to win. We're not sitting here collecting paychecks. We're out here. We're hungry. It's you wouldn't really notice with the intensity in training lately how veteran-aside it is. We had a 11v11 training the other day last week, and it was like we walked off the field being like, man, that might have been the best inter squad I've ever been a part of, just like how competitive it was. And so I mean there's reasons for optimism, but then again, the match is looming, and the small details need to be taken care of.
All those small details. How much can you look back to MLS is back? And obviously it seems as though you're in a similar groove to what you were at MLS is back. It must seem another season ago from MLS is back. So much has gone on. Can you look back to that period when you're getting into that playoff format? And obviously after you got out of the group stages, you were in that survive and advance kind of bracket. Can you look back to MLS is back and see why you were successful?
Absolutely. I think that we take that experience with us. But really it's interesting. It's not like, yes, we take that with us and leave it. You take that with us, but why were we successful there? It's because we did the small things correct. Every game we were committed. So, it's, to bring that with us is really, I see it as a challenge to bring that mentality, a challenge to bring that discipline to the match.
you've had many. You talk about small things. You've had many big moments so far this year. A big moment in MLS is back. You're what was up for Save of the Year, Chicharito against LA Galaxy. For you though, I'm interested. Was that a save of the year for you, or was there another save that you had this season where you would have put that as number one?
Well, I mean, when I think back to that save, it's not necessarily the actual save that I think is big. I think it's the moment. You know, we were coming off a slower start to the season, and it was the first game, and we were the last team to play. There was a lot of buildup for that game, and so for the first 20 minutes to make a big save for the guys and kind of set the tone for that tournament was the important thing to me. So people vote, they like this, they like it not. That's not really in my wheelhouse, but the moments I think as a goalkeeper you want to be there for your team, and that was one where you look back and you're like, yeah, that feels good.
When you talk about moments, the Player Tribune, they put out on Twitter yesterday, and I guess they gave you a Kodak camera to take around while you're at the tournament to take photos. There's some cool photos in there. What was that experience like for you, and what was one of your favorite moments that you captured?
Well, I'm trying to get all of them, man. They only gave me 10. I took like 40. I'm getting on the phone with the editor and asking for more. I was trying to just capture like one of the cool things that they didn't post. So I'm going to get that. But there was about a week where it was like, before people left and after all the COVID cases got out, that it was a little more loose and you could see people from all around the league. So it was this kind of reunion atmosphere, of course, socially distanced with masks, first and foremost. But we had a group of maybe like 15 guys that were just, at the pool area. And it was a really unique moment to just catch up with guys from other teams or guys that you haven't even played with, but from college. And being one of the older guys in the league was cool to just know everybody, say hi to everybody, and I captured that in a couple pictures. So for me, when I think of MLS is back, that's what I think of. This a lot of things, but certainly a reunion type atmosphere with all your fellow I guess coworkers.
Yeah, one of your immediate coworkers with Diego Chara, big announcement today, MLS Best 11. I thought it was a good video that showed you guys at training when your manager, Gio, when he announced it, and you were pushing Chara into the middle of the circle as though to take center stage, but he quickly wanted to come back around you guys. I did a piece on the attributes, standout attributes. I could list maybe 100 for Chara. I listed 6. For you, what is it about Chara that makes him one of the best, if not the best, number 6 in the league?
Well, gosh, there's a lot. Like you said, there's a lot. I think that what's most exciting is obviously his ball winning and the ground that he covers and the 50-50 and 60-40 balls that he wins are certainly, what people talk about a lot. But now you see him on the ball and the way that he can be a tempo, he can create the tempo of a team and pull the strings is really exciting for me as a goalkeeper because that's I'm dealing with him a lot. So, you could a million things, but those are 2 that stick out.
What about for you? I liked what you said, being able to be on the training ground and work on your game. And again, I'll hark back to when you chatted with Jake Ziven a few weeks ago. You said it was all about recovery in between matches because you didn't have any time to do anything else. But you've had time to work on your game the last couple of weeks. What are you most proud of? It's another solid season for you, a really good season. What are you most proud of out of your game, the attribute that you think you would look back of and be most proud of?
Well, I think that, I could answer that in 2 ways. One, technically, is just still, working on my game, getting better. I don't want to get into the areas, but I've definitely improved in my game, and I'm happy with that. And I'm getting better. There's more ahead for me. I feel young. I feel that I have 3-4 more years to go with quality. But also, I think for me, as in a leadership role and stepping into the role of we're responsible for this team, a few of us guys. So let's go out there and be the mentality and really drive home. This is what we expect of each other, hold each other accountable, and try to win games. I feel like I've been able to do that, and I'm proud of that.
Stepping into this game, into the playoffs, first and foremost, it's the second year of the knockout round of playoffs. Do you like it? What do you make of it?
Yeah. From a player standpoint, we want to win and we want to get this trophy and get on the off season. It's been a long year. So yeah. I think that a win or go home is more exciting. I'm in favor of that. It feels like a true playoff atmosphere, So we want to, it's more than anything, it's exciting. I think that everyone on this team really craves that big moment. I mean, we kind of touched on what veteran team, what does that mean? Well, I think there's a lot of players who crave that moment, who have been preparing for the playoffs first and foremost for their top form.
And finally, when you look at FC Dallas, it's strange to say this is the first time that you'll see FC Dallas this year going into playoffs, when in a usual season, a regular season, you would have faced them twice, maybe 3 times. What do you make of FC Dallas? What's important for the Timbers to be able to advance?
Well, as you said, we're not as familiar. We haven't played them, but we've done a lot of work, so I feel like we know them very well. The individual players that can hurt you. And then, Hollingshead, the way that he tucks inside as an outside back, really kind of like almost like a winger, is unique. And overall, a team that buys into what they're doing. They're not a team who thinks that they're going to have 2 guys win the game for them. They're a team that all 11 are working hard, and they have a common identity, a common thread between the team. So they're going to be very, very challenging. We're ready for that.
Terrific. Well, Steve, we're ready to watch you play. A couple days. Look forward to it. All the best. Thanks for taking the time, and all the best throughout the playoffs.
Yeah. Thanks, Ross. Have a good one.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining, everybody. See you soon.